Greetings, Lucky Legends. Welcome to the dojo. My name is Lucky. This is Lucky Lad TV. I'm your host of this video, and it's time for our Week 1 UPC Team Builder and Battle. I'm going to do both. Actually, no. I'm probably going to split it this week, and once the Crimson City Battle League starts, I'll probably combine the team builder and battles, especially since for the Crimson City Battle League it's on Showdown. So just to make things a little bit easier for me, and so that I don't have to upload multiple videos a day. So this is our, like I said, our Week 1 UPC team, and we were going up against the Austin Aipoms. And our matchup against them is, I'd say it's pretty neutral. It's a pretty neutral matchup. Nothing crazy. He has Infernape, Mega Scizor, Rotom Wash, Gliscor, Lucario, Mesprit, Tyrantrum, Whimsicott, Sneasel, Weezing, and the last Pokemon that so easily causes so many problems, and that is exactly why I drafted it in the Crimson City Battle League, is Ditto. He has Ditto. And the reason that that kind of sucks for me is because a lot of the strongest offensive Pokemon on my team, if I carry the right coverage for my opponent, it usually does not match up well against itself. And Choice Scarf Ditto outspeeds whatever you have in. Which is why I actually kind of set up my team this way. I built this team with the potential of a Zardak sweep with Substitute, Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, and Fire Punch. The reason I went with Fire Punch rather than Flare Blitz is because I don't have Roost, so I can't Roost off the recoil from Flare Blitz, so I can't be taking the recoil and having myself worn down. At +3, we sweep through his entire team. Like 100%. Infernape goes down to Dragon Claw. Mega Scizor goes down to Fire Punch. Rotom Wash goes down to Dragon Claw. Gliscor, Dragon Claw. Lucario, Fire Punch. Mesprit, Dragon Claw. Tyrantrum, Dragon Claw. Whimsicott, Fire Punch. Sneasel, Fire Punch. Weezing, Dragon Claw. Ditto, Dragon Claw. And the reason that we have Substitute is because Ditto can't transform into you if you are behind a Substitute, which is why I'm running the Substitute set. I really wanted to run Roost and Flare Blitz, because with that, we kill everything at +2. However, that doesn't help us, because then he can just bring in his Ditto and kill us right back. The damage output from Flare Blitz is just so much higher than the damage output from Fire Punch. It's almost twice the damage output from Fire Punch. It's more than 1.5 times the amount. I think it's like 1.6 or 1. It's more than 1.5 times as powerful as Fire Punch. So it sucks that I had to run Fire Punch, but I had to. I really didn't have the option. So that's kind of like the primary game plan, is to get up some hazards. And by hazards, I just mean get up Stealth Rocks to break any potential Focus Sashes. Get a good safe switch into Charizard and set up and sweep. Which isn't necessarily going to be easy, because he has Pokemon that can just dish out a lot of damage, whether it's super effective against us or not. And then he has a few really good physical walls that can easily just eat up hits from us. He has stuff like Rotom, Gliscor, Mesprit, and Weezing can all easily eat up hits from us. Granted, Gliscor is the only one with reliable recovery. It has Roost. And it also is the only one of those that can hit us with a super effective attack with Earthquake. So, Gliscor is a bit of a problem for us. However, I don't have any more move slots. I wanted to run Hidden Power Ice on my Charizard for specifically Gliscor. But 4 slots. That's all we have, which is a problem. But speaking of which, we do have Heatran. The reason I'm running Heatran with the Air Balloon this week, and you'll probably see me run it with an Air Balloon a lot, just because it does mitigate its biggest weakness, which is ground. The reason I'm specifically running it this week is because that way Ditto can't Earth Power us. Assuming our Air Balloon is still intact, Ditto cannot come in and Earth Power us, because I'm assuming he's going to bring Choice Scarf Ditto. It's the best item for Ditto. There's really no other item that you should run on Ditto. There really isn't. Because you primarily use it to either gain information or to beat setup sweepers. So the reason that I have this set is because it dishes out a lot of damage, and it makes sure that I am faster than Tyrantrum and Mega Scizor, even if they are run max speed Jolly / Timid. I will outspeed them no matter what, which is, that's what I was, worried about, because we don't one-shot. Do we one-shot a max speed def, max HP Scizor? I'm pretty sure we do. We should. But even if we don't, he can't hurt us back unless he has superpower, which probably doesn't one-hit KO us if he's running enough bulk to live a Flamethrower. The reason I went with Flamethrower rather than Fire Blast is because I'm pretty sure Flamethrower was a guaranteed kill no matter what, so I didn't care. As for the reason we actually have Flash Cannon is just for Tyrantrum. That's really the only reason that it's there. It hits harder than Earth Power, and we're faster than it. He could easily bring a Choice Scarf Tyrantrum, but the thing is, everything on his team, with the exception of Rotom and Infernape, can't hit us that hard unless they break my Air Balloon. If I still have the Air Balloon intact, Rotom Wash going for something like Hydro Pump, or Infernape going for something like Close Combat, that's really the only way that they can dish out a lot of damage to us. Which is exactly why I have the Air Balloon there. Because Tyrantrum can't Earthquake us, Gliscor can't Earthquake us, Lucario can't Earthquake us, although Lucario does get Close Combat. I forgot about Lucario. He can do that too. And yeah, like they can't Earthquake us, which is the biggest potential problem. Earth Power is for the Infernape, and that's it. It's for Infernape. That's the only reason we have it. Because otherwise Infernape does wall us. We can't really hurt it. And Stealth Rock is because I do want to break Focus Sashes, potential Focus Sashes on stuff like the Infernape, like the Lucario, like the Sneasel. Those are the only 3 mons I really foresee him using a Focus Sash on, but you never know. Now, as far as... Okay, so here's the thing about Infernape. I wanted to bring Slowbro to deal with Infernape. However, Infernape can set up on the special side. If it sets up a Nasty Plot, it can do a lot of damage to Slowbro. Granted, we can probably one-shot it back with a Scald. However, he also has Mega Scizor, which, it's faster than us. Bug Bite definitely does a shitload to us. It might kill. It probably kills. I'm not sure. The problem with bringing Slowbro is the fact that he had Mega Scizor, and in order to... I couldn't run Flamethrower with enough special attack to kill Mega Scizor and also have enough bulk to live Bug Bite. That was the problem. which is exactly why I didn't bring Mega Slowbro, because he could easily switch in his Mega Scizor and beat us, and I can't let that thing start setting up, because at +2, Scizor just blitzes through our team. The one exception, the only Pokemon that really walls Scizor is Cthulhu, our Tentacruel. The problem is I needed offensive Tentacruel for this match. That was the problem. I wanted to bring defensive Tentacruel because it does beat Mega Scizor. If we run Hidden Power Fire, or if we get Scald Burns or something like that, we do beat it 1v1. He can still deal out a good amount of damage to us with something like Knockoff, but that only really works once. But like I said, I needed offensive Tentacruel to deal with things like Whimsicott. I need to be able to take that thing out, so I have Sludge Bomb on there. I needed to be able to deal with stuff like Gliscor with Scald. I needed to be able to deal with stuff like Infernape with Scald, because Infernape, unless it's running Earthquake, can't deal a crazy amount of damage to us. Which is also why I didn't just bring Fizdef Tentacruel, because Earthquake still does a lot of damage to us, especially if he's Choice Banded or Life Orb does a lot. So I really have this thing to kind of just spread around hazards and hex some stuff. It's kind of cool that it learns Hex. But also to get rid of any potential hazards. And we easily beat Whimsicott 1v1 because of that Liquid Ooze. It can't Leech Seed us and Giga Drain stall us. Especially with the Assault Vest, it really just can't deal any damage to us. The next Pokemon that I really want to cover is Bouquet, our Expert Belt Technician Roserade. Now, here's the thing. We can live a Bullet Punch from Scizor, but one. We can only live one. And proceed to deal a crazy amount of damage, potentially one-shotting it with Hidden Power Fire. The really cool thing about Roserade, and the reason that I love Roserade as an offensive Pokemon, is because it has Technician, which means that all the hidden powers that it uses go up to 90 base power rather than the standard 60. So it's basically like having Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, whatever you want in that slot. So I obviously have Hidden Power Fire on there. Extra Sensory hits stuff like Infernape. It hits Infernape. That's the only reason I have it, in hindsight. Then we have Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb hits Whimsicott, and it does really good stab damage to a lot of other stuff. Energy Ball hits the... What do I have Energy Ball for? Rotom. It one-shots Rotom. Easily. And as I went over the Hidden Power Fire. The reason we're running Expert Belt rather than Life Orb, I don't want this thing getting worn down, because then it potentially cannot take that Bullet Punch from Scizor. That's why I have Expert Belt rather than Life Orb. Next up is Frostmourne. Now, the reason I have this is because as far as hazard setters are concerned, he doesn't have that many options. He has Infernape, which learns Stealth Rock. However, if it's the Stealth Rock set, it's typically the Focus Sash set, which means I'm not as scared of it. We're also faster, and we can Thunder Wave it, which would completely mitigate it as a threat. He has Gliscor, which learns Stealth Rock as well. He has Mesprit, again, Stealth Rock. He has Tyrantrum, Stealth Rock. And he has Weezing, which learns Toxic Spikes. I can Thunder Wave and Hex pretty much all of those Pokemon. And I can Ice Beam the Gliscor and absolutely demolish it. The reason we have Signal Beam is for Sneasel. If he tries to Pursuit Trap us right off the bat, we can Signal Beam it and deal a really good amount of damage. I don't know if it kills because it's not Stab, and we're not super strong from an offensive standpoint, but it will do a good amount of damage, which is all that I'm really looking for. And the last Pokemon on our team is Fido, our Stoutland. Now, I just decided to bring Max Attack Stoutland with Intimidate. Jolly Nature. With the Choppleberry, we do live a Life Orb Close Combat from Infernape. If he's Choice Banded, I don't think we live it, but we definitely live the Life Orb set. Even if he's, I think even if he's neutral, like even if he switches in and we didn't get the Intimidate off on Infernape, we do still live it. And then we can Thunder Wave it, and then Return will kill it when he is at -1. Ice Fang is really just there for the Tyrantrum, because otherwise Tyrantrum just walls us. It also does a lot of damage to Gliscor, which is really nice. Fire Fang is there for Mega Scizor. That is it. And Lucario, I guess. But we're not taking a close combat from Lucario and Infernape. Chople Stoutland is probably going to be like the most common item I bring on it, because it mitigates its only real weakness, which is fighting. But that is going to be the Week 1 UPC Team Builder. I want to thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. It's very much greatly appreciated. But with that, I'm going to get about best talks out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.